of evil between the chambers, crony capitalists, the globalists, and the entire slave trade, cheap labor network. That's why there's open borders. That's why you can't stop illegals from coming in. That's why they're trying to ship in another 100,000 Syrian refugees at $70,000 each of your money when your bridges are crumbling and we got 20,000 homeless people living under a pipe right now, or a drain pipe or a bridge in Los Angeles. This is the cold, hard facts. The neoconservatives, who have been in control of the Republican Party for 30 years, waging wars with your kids and your money so they make more money, billions from their contracts, about to end at 5:30 tonight. NATO milking the U.S. since the fall of the Soviet Union, paying 88% of the freight. Your kids there, dying. They get the money. That about to end. The whole elite cabal about to come tumbling down in several hours. This is the final desperate cling to power in the final moments for the ruling elite that has paid for, bought, and sold the National Republican Party. It is hours from crashing down on their head as they were trying yesterday desperately to cling to whatever last vestiges of power they had. About to go away. Enter Donald Trump, self-funding his campaign, getting a record 15 million Republicans to vote for him, igniting a movement that is sweeping the country that cannot be denied, getting bigger every day. It has passed them by. They couldn't stop it. They don't understand it. The gig is up. They have been found out. They have been flushed out. They have been voted out. It started in 2014 with Dave Bratt defeating Eric Cantor. That was the start. This, my friends, is the finish. The last straw, the Republicans take over the Senate in 2014 in a historic watershed election. 18 months later, not a dime's worth of difference. Nothing changed, nothing different, no fighting Obama, no control of your borders, still waging wars, still getting our kids coming home without arms and legs and body bags. They're still making tens of billions of dollars off it. Nothing changed. Fast track, nothing changed. TPP, nothing changed. The slave trade network, scouring the earth for cheap labor, nothing changed. The leadership of the Republican Party, the ruling elite, sold, signed, and delivered by the Wall Street bankster class, nothing changed. Zero. It's one-party rule. It's all the same. Enter Donald Trump, stage right. That's what's happening today. Make no mistake about it. This is an historic event that you will tell your grandchildren about and your children about. This day in America that is coming tonight, and that is why there are so many people like me that see this for what it is, a grand movement in America of working class people, blue-collar America, those that have built the backs of manufacturing in this country, built the country from the ground up, have been ignored, slapped down, taken advantage of, mocked. The ruling elite claims to represent them. They loathe us. If you drive into work and you punch in a clock, if you can't go to their $10,000 plate cocktail parties, they loathe you. They have no use for you. How you rose up and threw them out. It's amazing what has happened here. their mantra with the Republican Party, they don't care if they win. Or less. It's all the same. Keep it small, control it all. They could care less who wins these elections, as long as both candidates represent the same thing. They don't care. Jeb Bush, Hillary Clinton, right? It's all good. Win one, win the other one, nothing changes. Today is going to be a in America. And I'll tell you why Trump's going to win this election. He isn't even going to be close. He's going to win this election because this is a movement based on policies. This is why nobody could understand. Well, Trump said this and Trump said that. Trump did that. And Trump said this in 79. And Trump said this about McCain. And Trump said this about Megyn Kelly. And Trump this and Trump that. And Trump University and Trump salespeople and whatever they said. And it wouldn't stick, and they couldn't figure it out. Because every one of them, including the mainstream media today, is looking through this election, Trump, etc., in the same old, tired 90s, 2000 lens that doesn't work when you have ignited a movement. And so they don't understand it. And so they're afraid of it. That's why the Scott Ridgells of the world have to come out with letters to the press the night before the Super Tuesday primary and say if you're voting for Donald Trump, you're basically too stupid to have a job. This is the ruling elite cabal about to go down in flames in about 12 hours. This is an historic day in America. And I can't even begin to hide my elation and excitement over the fact that there's finally a future in this country as the ruling class elite about to get kicked out, clinging to power in their final hours. Now, many of them want Trump to lose because, see, then they're back in. They don't care who wins. Clinton's fine. She's gonna keep the open borders and the slave trade network going. They don't care. They just want the money to keep flowing. They want to keep getting into wars. They want to keep intervening in states and toppling whatever dictator they don't like. So the spigot of money to them keeps flowing. Your kids come home in body bags, no arms and legs. They don't care. Money keeps flowing. Now with me now is another person who is on the front lines of overturning America's elite, corrupt, ruling class.
Hey, John, it is great to be with you. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, and I love what you say about toppling the establishment, the insiders, the elites inside the Beltway. I am challenging Senator John McCain in the Republican primary in Arizona, and I will tell you things are going amazingly well, just like they are here, just like what we're seeing here. People are fed up. They're angry. They're disgusted. They're disappointed with what's happening or not happening in Washington. They're looking for new blood. They're looking for new eyes on the problem. And luckily for us in Arizona, we have Dr. Kelli Ward, and I am going to be ready. I'm competent, qualified, capable. I'm ready to take the reins and hit the ground running in Washington.
Well, Kelli, I'm excited about your campaign. You know, we first met, you came on my show in CPAC.
Yes.
In Washington, and we were talking about what your fundraising was back and then and other things. But look, now you see what's happening. Now you see that the movement has been ignited. And, you know, John McCain has been part of this problem for the last 3 decades. You know, he'll go back to Phoenix and he'll go back to the borders when it's time to get reelected, and he's very charming and his wife is lovely and he'll say all the right things, and then he goes to Washington and he sells everybody out.
Yes, and you know what? Hillary Clinton and John McCain are two peas in a pod. Their foreign policy is very similar, just like we were talking about. You know, it's an invade the world, invite the world type foreign policy, and when we have nation building abroad and we have open borders at home, we end up with terrorist attacks. And what we've seen, because we've armed ISIS, and I'm going to put it right out there, the American government, John McCain, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama have armed ISIS. Even in this year's National Defense Authorization Act, $1.3 billion put in there by John McCain to fund freedom fighters. I'm putting it in quotes, air quotes, freedom fighters in the Middle East, in Syria. And we did that before. We put in $500 million, and we got 4 or 5 good rebels who fought for us. And the rest of that money, the rest of that training, the rest of those resources went into ISIS. And so now we've got bodies. We've got bodies from Benghazi to Orlando, and it's all on the hands of the people who are in Washington, D.C. right now.
Well, Kelli, you're absolutely right. How are you getting that message out to Arizonans?
You know, we're doing lots of media, obviously, here at the RNC. I'm the only, Arizona contender for the Senate seat here at the convention. I'm the only one standing up and supporting Mr. Trump. I'm the only one who's willing to be here to start the unifying process for this party so that we win in November. We win this presidency. But we have a great team on the ground. I'll tell you that. We've got an amazing team across the entire state of Arizona. We've got volunteers of every demographic, young, old, working aged, white, Hispanic, black, doesn't matter. We've got so many people helping us to win this thing because their hearts and souls are in it. It isn't about money for them. I don't think John McCain's going to be able to buy this election. He's spent a lot already. He's spent over $2 million attacking me, either himself or through his super PAC, the Arizona Grassroots Action PAC, that has nothing really to do with Arizona or grassroots. Exactly. And so I think he has something to say.
Has to do with the elite ruling class Washington cabal.
Yes, it does.
Funding his campaign so we can get back there, 80-something years old, so we can just keep the money spigot flowing for this special elite ruling class interest.
Yes, when I see the establishment converging around him, it really is quite a spectacular sight. He's had a fundraiser with George W. Bush, who they were enemies. Mitt Romney has come out to support John McCain. They were enemies.
It's the whole chamber crony, evil access of the banksters and the open border globalists who scour the earth day after day for slave labor. They save that money, then they fund it back into the John McCain PAC.
Yes.
I mean, this is what's going on in America, Kelli, and nobody except a handful of us, like you and me, will call it out.
Yes.
Because they're afraid of the words and they're afraid of how it sounds. But this is the reality of what we're dealing with today. It ties into these wars. It's all about money flowing back to Wall Street that then funds these campaigns. Let me tell you something else. This is a national Republican convention. Where's John McCain?
Right. He's touring the Grand Canyon, is what I've heard. And Jeff Flake actually is mowing his lawn. And you know how much lawn we have in Arizona? I really was appalled by Jeff. He gave an interview to the New York Times and said that we should purge our party of people who support Trump. That is appalling to me because I think Trump's brought a lot of people to this party who have never voted before. He's converted people over who were Democrats before but have learned that they don't want to be on the Democrat plantation. They want freedom. They want liberty. That's why they are for Trump. And for our 2 senators to snub the convention, to snub the Republican Party, to snub Donald Trump, to snub supporters of Donald Trump is really kind of disrespectful and appalling.
Well, look, Kelli, at the end of the day, they don't understand the movement. It's going right by them. They can't get it. They can't control it. They would rather lose than give up the control. There's an old saying, keep it small, control it all.
Yes.
So, look, Jeff Flake isn't here. John McCain's not here. I was asked this, I said this earlier, I was asked a question on BBC last night in one of the TV interviews, and they said, all these people aren't here. John McCain, Jeff Flake, George Bush, Jeb Bush, all these big-name Republican politicians aren't here. Why?
You hit it on the head.
Politicians. And I'm like, politicians.
Yes.
Kelli, you got it. And what I said, I'll say the same thing again. These big-name Republican politicians who have been part of the destruction of America, they're not here. Who cares?
Right.
The person in Arizona, the cattle rancher, who's seeing right now people walk right over their border, right now unabated. They don't even put your Border Patrol officers on the border officer. They're 3 miles away.
Yes.
They're
or
seeing
more.
Them walk over.
Yep.
They're seeing them taking their jobs. They're seeing the unemployment. They're seeing the things that are going on, right? Do you think they care if John McCain or Jeff Flake or one of these other politicians are here? They could care less. because this is not, Kelly, the politicians' convention.
Yes.
This is the people's convention.
Yes, I love it. That's what I love about being here this time. This is the people's convention. I was just down at the border with those very people on Friday and Saturday, with those ranchers, with people from the Border Patrol, with people from the Sheriff's Office, and they said exactly that they've moved the Border Patrol inland. Some of them not just 3 miles, some of them 40, even 80 miles.
They don't want to catch them.
Inland. They
don't want to catch them.
But have we ceded 20, 40, 80 miles of our country to Mexican cartels, to another country, to people who just come in and roam freely? I mean, is that what a country is all about? If we don't have a secure border, we cannot have national security. Border security is national security. And guess what? I'm ready to mix the mortar to fix the border. And that's going to be my top priority when I get to Washington, D.C.
Mix the mortar to fix the border. I got to jot that down. I'm gonna steal it. I got 30 seconds. How do you win?
Hey, I win by getting the grassroots activated and getting my people to the polls. That means come to kellyward.com, join our effort no matter what state you're in, help spread the word, help increase my name ID. Of course, you can donate there too. Remember, it's Kelly with an I, because I care about the people, and I will be a conservative champion for Arizona and America in Washington, D.C.
Kelly, when is the primary?
August 30th. So we've got 6 weeks of hell coming up.
I think you're going to win, and I'll tell you why. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
And normally when things are not going well, candidates look haggard. I mean, I've been in this business a long time. Good luck. This is the John Fredericks Radio Network, the elite cabal about to fall in 12 hours. Keep it right here.